Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to go over some of my personal favorite hair care products that I've used in the past years. I'm in my late 40s. I figure if it works for me, there may be a value in it for you. You are like me and you like feeling put together, but you don't actually want to spend so much time putting in the effort, then you've come to the right place. So let's talk about hair dye. So what makes me qualified to give you this beauty advice? That's a great question. My name is Jentri and I help women over 40 restore their skin. I'm a seasoned beauty professional, licensed esthetician, have been in the beauty industry for 25 years. I've also created my own line. And this is the thing. My mom was a cosmetologist for over 50 years. I grew up with a beauty shop literally inside of my home, okay? So I wasn't actually doing the hair, but I did get a feel and understanding for what it's really like, what works, what doesn't. In addition to that, one of my very, very close friends is a hairstylist. So we talk about these things all the time. And I know through the thick of the marketing, things can just get really muddied. So I just want to share with you what works and what doesn't when it comes to hair products. And this is just my personal experience. And I would love to know how you feel and what works for you. So make sure and drop your questions below. Now, first let's talk about hair dye, because I do really love multiple brands that I've used. I love IGK hair. I love the quality and I love the fact that it's really easy to mix together. It's kind of like one of those things, cognitive ease. It's like so easy, you don't have to think about it. That means a lot to me. So I really like it. It works well. There's also Madison Reed. They're known for their hair products. I've used multiple ones. I really like theirs as well. And I'm going to show you actually a hair product that I use every single day from them later. But my mom turned me on to this a long time ago. And this is called Wella, and you probably are familiar with it, but it is a trusted name with hair care professionals. And I find that it's really cost effective if I buy a really huge, I'm like a huge thing of this, a huge tub of this. What is it? This thing is huge, actually. A huge container of this on Amazon. Now, when I purchased this, I purchased the one that is not cream-based, and my mom said, you probably should have ordered the one that was cream-based because it might be a little easier, like less drippy when you mix it together with your hair dye. So it's just gonna take me so long to go through this, but when I'm done, I will get the creamy one. Now I'm gonna give you a little beauty hack that I learned. I actually learned this from cosmetic chemists, believe it or not. I listened to the Beauty Brains podcast. They're fabulous chemists, a wealth of information. If you have not listened, take a listen. And so they actually mentioned that the difference between store-bought color and color that you receive in your hair salon from a professional, like the main difference is really the length of time that you leave on the color. So basically what that means is it means it's not really a different technology, it's the same technology, but whenever you are using it, you know, it says leave on for, I don't know, I'm just making up something, like leave on for 10 minutes and wash off or whatever. And clearly when you go to your hairdresser, you leave your product on for 30, 40 minutes, whatever it is. Now, I'm not insinuating that there is absolutely no difference whatsoever in the quality of different brands. Obviously there are, and you have your own favorites. What I am suggesting is that the technology is the same. So if you want your hair color, your over-the-counter one, to last a little bit longer, maybe just try leaving it on for a little bit longer and see how that works for you. I color my hair about once every 6 weeks. Now, in between, I mentioned Madison Gray before, they have this little palette like this. I use this every day for my brows, usually because it's just so easy and forgiving. It's like, put it on. I love my brow gel, don't get me wrong. It has little microfibers in it. And I love to use that, especially if I have somewhere to go. But if I just want to look super natural and I'm not trying to add to the volume of my hair, then this is a great choice because it's super easy to apply with this little brush like this. And then what I like particularly about this little palette that it comes with is that this brush is bigger, so you can actually use it to cover your grays. Now, is it going to be long lasting? No, but it is a little tiny quick fix. So I recommend that totally. Now this here is called Gray Away. This is probably the most inexpensive item that I'm going to talk about today. And it's called exactly EverPro Beauty Gray Away Root Touch-Up Quick Stick. I picked this up in my local grocery store a long time ago. I'm super picky about the texture and the way that my hair feels after I apply things, so I don't like a lot of like quick fix cover-up stuff, hence the fact that I like this powder. But this one is so inexpensive and it really, really works. So you do feel a tiny, and I do mean a tiny bit of product in your hair whenever you apply it, especially if you apply a lot of it. If you apply a little bit, you're not gonna feel anything, meaning texture-wise. So I like to, you can see I have a little gray right here. I'm just gonna show you in live time, and I have videos on this, by the way, too, so you can go back and watch my hair videos. I have hair videos on TikTok and here shorts since YouTube started letting us post shorts. Have tons of those. On TikTok, they're categorized though. So it has this, and then it has this little spongy part, and so you can just blend it into your hairline. So if you get the grays like me right around your hairline like this, that's what's most annoying to me, because like if you're like me, my whole head doesn't turn gray all at once, but I start to get these little, you see what I mean? Look at the difference between here and here. You start to get these little grays erupting, and you don't want to dye your entire head is what I'm trying to say, just because you need a little root touch-up. So those are two great products. They really help solve problems for me personally. Now I used Nazoral for a long time because I would have a lot of buildup, and I know this is really, really common. And it does work. It's an over-the-counter product. But when my hairdresser turned me onto this product, it was like, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is my favorite product ever. I'm never going back. I did a video on TikTok about it because I was really excited about it. And that is the Redken Hair Cleansing Cream. This is the thing. It's a little deceiving because it says cream and you're like, oh, it's not gonna foam. It's not gonna work that well. It doesn't foam that much. It has a nice little lather to it. It's very mild, but it works better than any other exfoliating type of hair product that I've ever used in my life. So it really, really cleans your scalp clean. Now my hairdresser told me only to use this 2-3 times a week max, which is no problem for me because I don't wash my hair more than that. But if you do, you don't want to use this every single day, but just use it as a really clarifying hair treatment. And I have had people ask me if it's gonna basically strip the hair. And what I'll say to that is, every type of shampoo you use is going to basically strip the hair a little bit. So if you are using something like this, it's particularly designed to do that because this has acids, AHAs or acids in it. It also, if I look on the back, I think it said willow bark, so it has AHAs and BHAs, which I really like. Then, you know, it's gonna have that extra cleansing effect. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you use a really good conditioner. Because some conditioners I like Better Not Younger. I think it has a really good deep conditioning one, but just, you know, it's not going to be a one size fits all when it comes to hair care products. Obviously, you know that if you have fine hair versus thick hair, etc. So just bear that in mind. This is another shampoo I absolutely love. It's great for color treated hair. It says color extended magnets, whatever that means. I don't care. It's just good for color treated hair. So it smells amazing, and I'm not gonna lie, I know that sounds superficial, but it really does smell amazing, and that's one of the reasons that I like it, besides the fact that I think it does a really good job for an everyday shampoo. And this is a good time to talk about hair treatments. If you are suffering from hair loss and you want to do a natural hair treatment, we did a whole part 1 and part 2 on castor oil, and I even have some bonus videos on it because there's so many different ways that you can use it. You can drop a few drops of your rosemary oil inside of your shampoo and you can use it that way. That will work because you have to use things consistently to see results, especially when it comes to the regrowth of anything. And your hair and your brows, by the way, it's a little bonus tip, are very similar. So whatever you use in your hair, you can likely use in your brows, hence the castor oil. Now, if you are wanting to use the castor oil treatment for hair regrowth, you can actually drop some of the rosemary oil into that castor oil, massage on the scalp, wherever it is that you have your little problem child. For me, my problem child is always this side right here. I have a lot of breakage. I have a little bit of a receding hairline that's hereditary, but I notice that when I get stressed or maybe I'm not being super responsible with my hair regimen, I will lose more hair here and this little area becomes more bald. and it does bother me. And so I love using products that are little quick fixes for helping, you know, kind of fill that in. I love using little treatments, natural treatments, whatever I can do to help with the scalp, because really that is like the secret to your hair being healthy, is that it starts at the roots of your hair. So you really want to focus on the scalp and that skin, nourishing it, doing whatever you can to make sure that it's healthy, so that your skin has, or your hair, excuse me, has the best chance at regrowth. It's going to grow, right? But at regrowth, especially if you are experiencing a lot of breakage. Another little bonus beauty tip is that a lot of products with silicone, they will help coat that hair follicle, and that will also help kind of take the brunt of the heat. If you're using, you know, like a blow dryer, curling iron and stuff like that every day, and you use some type of hair protector, that's generally what is protecting your hair. So a good conditioner also protects your hair. And one that I really love to use is, I love this Color Therapy by Madison Reed. I just use it every once in a while, at least once a week when I wash my hair, I will use this. And I have to say, if you leave it on for 5 minutes, it makes your hair feel so silky, soft. And that's when it got me. I was just like, oh, like petting myself like I pet my animals. So it is a little bit, in my opinion, on the pricey side, but if you're only using it once a week, use it as much as you want. But I'm just saying, if you're only using it once a week like me, it does last a while. I'm not the type of person that buys tons of hair care products, but when I like something, I do invest in it. And especially if it lasts a while, I think that products like these can be worth it. This Color Fanatic by Pureology, it's called 21 Essential Benefits. My hairdresser recommended this to me years ago. I've been spraying it on my hair every single time since then, after I get out of the shower, just as a protectant, an additional protectant. My hair feels pretty good. Maybe it'll help you too. So let's talk about something that's a little bit more, how should we say, sensitive, okay? And that is the loss of hair. Thinning hair has always been a stressor for me in these areas that we talked about. And so I'm always looking for something that's going to increase the volume, because I know that whenever we do these types of treatments to help us with regrowth, especially if we're not using the prescription, it's gonna take a while and you're gonna have to do it consistently. Consistency is always the key. So for me, I like to have something in between. It's kind of like the equivalent of me having my quick fix for my gray hairs, having this to make my hair look fuller. For years, I used Kevin Murphy. I think the price range is about the same between Kevin Murphy and this Better Not Younger, but I've been using this for a while now, and it really, really works. I really love it. You just spray it on, I have some videos somewhere on it. You just spray it on the areas where you want to increase the volume whenever you get out of the shower or the bath, and before you dry it, obviously, and it really just gives you that look of fuller looking hair, which I really, really love, because sometimes at the end of the day, that's just what we want. We want something to help us until we get to that place where, you know, we don't have to use X, Y, or Z, right? As a skincare professional, I would equate it to, you know, you're using your products at night, like retinol, vitamin C, you're using things like that to help brighten and even up your skin, or even out your skin. But you're also, you know, wearing things like, I have a priming duo, also wearing that during the day because it helps even out my skin tone. It's a win-win. So let's move on to a couple of finishing products that I've been using for a very, very long time. And I don't know, I'm just this way. I don't know if you are, but when something does work, and I know for sure it works, I stick with it. I'm not one of those people that like does the trendy thing and buys something new every month, or just buy something because it says new and improved. I'm like, well, new and improved, whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna go with what I know works. You know what I mean? That's the way I save money. So a couple of finishing products. I personally, you know, in my kit, I have the, you know, the regular old hairspray that my mom recommended to me, that works, like you spray it on and it doesn't move, kind of hairspray. And you know, you buy it in the grocery store for like under $5. But for myself, I don't really go for that stiff look. You know, I'm usually either have natural waves in my hair or blow dry it straight. And so for me, sometimes I just want a little bit of volume, but I also want to kind of tame those frizzy hairs. And so for me, this Kevin Murphy duo do-over. There's really no comparison. I have other brands and I thought about sharing them with you because they're a little bit less expensive, but honestly I keep going back to this, so I'm just gonna share with you my faves. And I like it because it's a dry powder, and so it does absorb some of that oil, but it also makes your hair look fuller and it makes it look tame. So for me, you know, rubbing it really in those roots and then styling it works really, really well. And again, I'm a sucker for the smell. One of my favorite, I'll say splurges. One of my favorite splurges is this oil. It's so light. It smells so amazing, and it has this tiny, tiny, tiny bit of shimmer in it, hence the name. It's Kevin Murphy Shimmer Shine. I've been using it forever. It has these little, I don't know if you can see this, it has these little gold sparkly color. You can shake it up. It looks so feminine and so pretty. I hope some of this information was helpful for you today. If you are interested more in the castor oil thing that we talked about, definitely go back and watch part 1 and part 2. I also have a great blog on castor oil. I think I have a link in the description. And I have so many different shorts. Now we have shorts here on YouTube, so I have tons of shorts and hair videos here, tons more on TikTok. They're all categorized on TikTok, so if you want something that's more organized, you can go and watch those. We are also on Instagram and Facebook. So thanks for hanging out with me today. If you have any questions, make sure and drop them below. And remember, the more you know, the more you glow. Ciao for now.